Alrighty then. We're about, well, not really, we're 2/5 of the way through now, and now we've finished the process of fixing up my mistakes that I made in the first session, where I played this and then that. Then we played this and this. So now we'll be doing proper chapter 3, and then from here on out, at least they'll be in the correct order. At least I mean, the most chronological part of the experience is definitely the chapters, like the real chapters, and I didn't accidentally play those out of order, so that's good. The interludes being played in slightly different order doesn't seem to be massively fatal to the playthrough, because they add some context to certain characters or something, but don't necessarily exist within the timeline so far. We'll see. We'll see if the people from the entertainment show up now, like these characters that are evicting each other and whatnot. That's not the right word exactly, but anyway. 83 and sunny now. Looks like it's gonna get up to about 101 by late afternoon in Louisville and 103 in E-Town. Not a cloud in sight, so get out those parasols. Haha. Major accident just ahead of the Bardstown exit, so if you're headed to work on 31, you are late, my friend. Haha. Sugar? Just a little. I forgot how you take your coffee. I'm tired. I didn't sleep well. I heard you yelling. Bad dreams? We were up on a roof, Ira and I, and Charlie, eating a light supper. I was drinking sweet tea. Charlie was reading. We were surrounded by other houses, closely packed, huge sidewalks. It must have been a... what's that word? A subdivision. That's it, I'm sure. Below us, a group of people were gathered, standing quietly. A man was reading from a book. I asked Ira about the weather. Would it rain on Tuesday? Or when would the sun set? Something like that. He wouldn't answer me. Charlie stood up, and Ira told him to watch his step, and then I remembered. I woke up before I could stop him. Charlie was alone on that roof. I guess he was. He was so bright, his teachers said. What was the word? Imaginative. That's it. How could I forget? It wasn't his fault. It wasn't anyone's fault, Conway. That's what we mean when we say it's... tragedy. Sure. Well, we have a mail order delivery today. Might be a long drive. I hope the truck can hold up. That truck will outlive us all. I hope you're right. I'm glad you'll keep it. Ira would have wanted you to have it. It's been running since Charlie was born. Ira took me to the hospital in that truck. So did you once. When you fainted. My hero. So, long drive? They said they couldn't come in person. Maybe just a shut-in. I don't recognize the address. The order is all... I'm sure we can fill it. Not much left back there. That's good. I wouldn't want a disused pile of antiques to be my... oh, what's the word? Legacy? Maybe. No, that's not the word. I just need to think a bit. More coffee or something. Or I've had too much. It's getting harder. Yes, it is. What are those boxes you set in the hallway? Those are your clothes. You packed them yesterday. Of course. Cora should be here soon. Will you wait with me? Sure, Liz. I'll wait with you. There's your traffic and weather on the 5s. That's every 10 minutes, brought to you by the Consolidated Power Company. Stick around for Old Kentucky Home with Kate, helping you turn your humble home into a mansion after this. Oh. Perhaps he's so dedicated to delivering this package because he doesn't have a lot to come back to. They lost a kid and she's leaving. That's how the little kid was dressed? Oh, that's... wow. That's how they're symbolizing his pain in his leg? That's super trippy. That's only if you want to make a late payment on a follow-up visit. I think everything went well enough here that they'll only want you to bill you for... He was still talking when I was asleep? Oh, he's awake. How do you feel, old man? All fixed up? Truman says you might be a bit misty coming out of it, so... What time is it? It's been about 2 hours. What have you been doing? Watched TV for a while. Then Dr. Truman showed me some of the terms of this bill. It's kind of... You'll want to look over it yourself, I think. How about that leg? How's your leg feeling? Yeah, that's the important part. Conway shifts his leg a bit in the chair, testing it. Well? It was the heat. The shingles were cracked in the sun, and one of them slipped out from under his feet. Shingles? What are you talking about? Who slipped? Your thoughts and feelings are probably still a little nebulous from the neuropnil TM. That's totally normal. It'll pass. I wouldn't recommend driving, at least for another hour or two, regardless. Conway stares remotely at his leg. Let's talk about a few things you should be aware of. Recovery, rehabilitation, and side effects. How long am I going to be recovering? Well, at your age, I want to be clear, you should expect lingering effects of the injury for more or less the rest of your life. Jesus Christ! How bad of an injury was it? Don't immerse it fully in water, avoid extremes in temperature. I'd say stay away from dusty roads and mountain lions as much as possible. How do you... Don't fully immerse your leg in water and don't be around dusty roads? Mountain lions. Good advice in any context. Best you can do is keep it clean and free of debris. Does it actually look like that? Is that what's happening? What do I clean it with? Only clean your leg with a soft cloth, moistened with water or isopropyl alcohol. Wait, my leg's actually some sort of weird whatever? I'm gonna clean it with a cloth like it's glasses. You definitely want to avoid abrasive agents like detergents or other solvents. So do you have any questions? Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? I don't mean to rush you, but I have an early fishing trip. Anything about the bill that didn't make sense? You told it to me while I was unconscious, and I woke up without a leg. How did you amputate my leg? We're in your kitchen. Did the drug replace my leg with a flashing bone? Which we just have to accept. We just have to accept that nothing in this universe. Because I got carried here by a bird. Like, we're just gonna have insane things happen on the screen that we just have to accept. Because it's perhaps a metaphor. What a surreal game. Tell him about the payment plan in the bill. Ah, yeah, that's one of the atypical clauses. I don't really have any control over the bill now that the Consolidated Power Company bought my employer. They handle everything. So it all runs through your electricity bill now. You can pay it back in full on your next billing cycle, or you can get on an energy credit payment plan. You'd have to call Consolidated for more detail about that. I don't really understand how it works. Something about generating electricity to send back into the grid. Oh, one more thing. Don't be alarmed if you experience any side effects of the blah blah blah. Neuropinol? Yeah, neuropinol 2. Typically we see daydreaming, deja vu, pensiveness, fugue states. You know, just general walking simulator symptoms. It's a drug that makes you do all of the walking simulator things. You get pensive, you daydream, you have fugue states, regular perception of time, suddenly you're in a different place and you're not sure why. About 15% of patients report a generalized sensation of lateness. Nothing to be alarmed about, just keep it in mind. Thanks for your help. Julian's outside. We can head back to your truck. Oh no, you took the walking simulator drug. What are you gonna do? The Museum of Dwellings, that's what they called this place. How are the drugs treating you? I don't like to take medicine. No, it's good for you. He's a doctor, right? I know what you mean, though. My folks had a peculiar relationship with medicine. We almost never had a regular doctor, or health insurance, or anything like that. Our immigration stuff was a mess for most of my childhood, so we only qualified for state programs in small patches before something or other would get contested. We learned to just pile on dentist appointments and stuff in those short windows. If a cut got infected, or her migraines were too much to handle, Mom would talk to so-and-so who knew so-and-so, usually another minor, and end up with some pills. And instead of medical advice, every pill came with gossipy anecdotal warnings and superstitions. Like all this lore that came with it. Like magic. Dangerous, mysterious. They took schmouters, oh god. Ever run into any problems? Sure, yeah. Stuff would be expired or mislabeled. Mom was allergic to penicillin, as it turned out. That was scary. And one time, in high school, Weaver got these pills to help her focus. She was so smart, but always going off in different directions, mind racing. She got Adderall. Like 5 conversations going on in her head at once. And if you're lucky, if even one of them is someone in the room with you, you know? So she had these pills and they seemed to help. I was struggling in school too, failing my history class. She offered to share the pills. Aren't they amphetamines? Sounds dangerous. Yeah, they seemed pretty harmless at first. I guess that's why I kept going with it. One day I was sitting on my bed. My notebook was open next to me on top of the textbook. I was holding a pen in my hand. I remember this moment from several years before. It came up so suddenly, with such precision. I couldn't put it out of my mind. I felt I had to stay with it until I'd recalled the whole thing perfectly. It was just a tiny moment. My mom patching up the side of a bird cage, winding some spare wire around the frame to reinforce it. I was fixated on that image and that sound. The cage kind of bending and twanging as she worked on it. Rapping and nodding, scraping copper against paint like bowing a rubber violin with a railroad tie. My parents came back from a triple shift and found me still sitting there on the edge of the bed, pen in my hand, delirious with thirst, patching that bird cage with a 1,000-yard stare. Ah. Requiem for a Dream territory. The mom and her grapefruit. That's the saddest part of that movie. She didn't even know that she was taking drugs, really. Not like that. You get some rest back there? I don't feel much rested myself. But I'm tired most of the time these days. You're a good listener, Blue. So, what's the plan here? Heading back to the Zero. Well, we should try to get in touch with that clerk. Yeah, okay. These files we got from the storage facility were all tagged and stamped. There's a phone number. Oh. It's long distance. Weird. Well, we can head back to my workshop and use the phone there. My landlord has a pretty good phone plan. He's always calling home from Ukraine. To Ukraine. Sounds good to me. Okay, it's up north, remember? By the lake, where Pina and Wax meet. Now there's just a bird roaming around. Are they suggesting I can go back to that location whenever I want to visit that bird? Oh. Wow, immediately. So much for it outliving all of us. The truck's engine sputters and dies, as Conway guides it carefully off the road next to a fallen tree. We best get back to that gas station, apparently. Shit. Well, that's a stark visual. In the pitch blackness of night, the skeletal framework highlighted so powerfully by the beams, the headlights, white on black, spectral. Do we need to push it back to Eckes Oils? Nothing to be done? Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait. Is this why you always leave your truck running? Just superstitious. Right. Any other quirks I should know about? Never eat while walking. Well, I guess at your age. Anyway. Do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Looks like a road crew's been out here. Hey, we should call someone. You know a good towing company? Yep. Lucky Boot Collision and Towing. Here's their card. Lucky Boot. Alright. I'll give them a call. I hope I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi? Hello? We've got an old, I want to say diesel... old truck just stalled out. I'm picking the tone of the person calling now. You kind of just control everyone sometimes. Inaudible, sleepy. Did I wake you? Your card says open 23 hours a day. Was it that 1 hour? Suspicious. Yeah, we have a car. I mean it's a truck. We're broken down by the side of the road, that's why I'm calling. Obtuse? That's... Okay, look, we need to get back on the road here, and I'm sure you're busy too. Moblin? Are you... Is this a bad time? Meticulous. Is that like... some kind of naval thing? I don't know. We're off 65 somewhere. Just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. Tangential. Tangential. Okay, well, I don't know any of those people, but that does sound like the right area. You been over here before? Indulgent. Okay, my pleasure. How long do you think you'll be? Radio music. Hello? Well. Didn't give us a lot to do. I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. Pretty grim place to get stuck. I wonder what happened to the tree, I mean. Maybe it was just old. You know what used to happen to old trees out in the forest? Wildlife would come through and clear them all out. They made room for new trees. But then people built houses. And we can't have fires going on all the time, so we keep putting them out. Now we have all these old trees choking out the saplings. Starving the young trees for resources. Just clinging on to life until... snap? And then some old road crew comes by and blasts the stump with dynamite. I think I'll look out the rainbow at that radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. Reminds me of the issue with California. It's like all these wildfires are relatively normal and natural. You just have a bunch of trees and a bunch of grass and everything gets old and dead in the heat and it burns up, and then I think it even fertilizes the local area a bit or something. But like, it's a natural cycle for... Oh. I guess it decided that we're continuing now and not talking to those other characters. But the, it's normal for things to burn periodically and then be gone and replaced, like this is normal cycle. Really the problem is that we're trying to be permanent in the middle of that not permanent environment, and so we run into problems there. Trying to have houses and so on, not wanting to burn them all down. Where are we staying tonight? Some closet at the bar, I guess. Harry Esperanza's 4-star broom closet experience. Maybe it'd be nice to stay outside one of these nights. Power down just enough to rest, but keep an eye on the stars. Be there when the birds wake up. Short circuits, capacitors popping in the morning dew. Yeah, you're right. Capacitors. Where are you guys coming from? Is the bike kind of dragging a bit tonight? If only we had some trash to jettison. You know you'd miss me. I only miss you when I know you're coming back. Oh ho, we should write a song about it. A fugue for solo guitar. Ha, maybe for an encore. Hey, yeah, didn't you play on this record? Go-Go was on it. Yeah, Go-Go. Go-Go, that guy is out of control. We should do a set with him. Only Johnny plays the notes I like. Aw. What time is it? You've got a timing circuit. Yeah, but yours is more accurate. Harry's gonna flip out. That old man was born flipped. I just hope we can scrape up some tips. Hard enough when you get when you get there on time. Just play that keyboard. I'll figure out the rest. I know. I think they had a dog. I guess you could call it that. Just some old dog bones with some fur draped over it, poor thing. We still have all this useless bread from the bakery gig. It's stale, but a dog won't care. Just throw that stuff out, we have somewhere to be. They look like they could use some help. So they can call a tow truck. Around here, they're just gonna end up with Lucky Boot. They'll be waiting there all night. I guess it's up to some good Samaritan. Someone will stop eventually. Someone with nowhere else to be. You know, we're already late. Are you gonna explain all this to Harry? Oh, no way, you're the smooth talker. In fact, I bet you'd have no problem explaining we had to stop out of the goodness of our nature and check on some wayfaring strangers. Every minute counts, Cricket. You know my favorite thing about you, man? My steely resolve? Of course. But a close second is your boundless generosity. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Sorry, ma'am. Just... maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats at the gig. You know, if no one's there, Harry will try and bilk us on our fee. And so a plan is hatched.